But hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my title. Okay, so the title is The Major Crisis, and this is specifically about the children, the teens, and adults. So it's specifically for everybody. Okay, and I got some more. Okay, so it says children, teens, adults, and parents, grandparents, and greater grandparents, and etc. are at a major risk factor today in the epidemic and the pandemic and the global warmings that we have, and the unhealthy risk factors from the 80s and the 90s, because this is the newest norm. The trillionaire companies of the healthcare infrastructures has started multiple diseases with multiple daily outbreaks coming internationally. The reason is to kill the mass majority of the health before their existence dies out. Many of you are knowing this already, but none has taken action. This is why the war continues to kill majority of youth and elders, because you're fixated on your jobs, raising up the salary of your broken income. The diseases that are the newest forms of death are, so you will not see symptoms immediately, but for you to die shortly after eating, drinking, showering, bathing, running, working, walking, and etc. There are diseases everywhere on everything you touch. New insects have been found, new chemicals have been found, new germs and new particles have been found in fruits and medicine and food all over. There's a warning on meat and dairy products and high-glyceride fats from a pig that leads your body to becoming fatter than what you eat. The health of all humanity is at a high risk factor due to the fact that they have been biochemically made fruits, vegetables, and produced raw meats from taking the external uses of real products and poisoning and label them as naturally made, scientifically proven, or 100% guaranteed great products or great products or meals. They're slowly breaking your immune system to weaken your brain and to change your natural production of thinking. Then it says the three meals a day makes the nervous system and the organs in your body consistently overworks, which leaves no room for the body to push out the toxins or poisons. This messes with your neurons, causing them to break or to die down. So again, dairy products and all labels of meat, carbs, and fattening causes these problems, muscles and sinuses problems. They're making new air solutions for the quality that is literally the contamination of air coming from the airplanes, not regular airplanes. Also, do not continue to go outside without detoxing your humidifier mask for protection, and keep your houses clean from mold and mildew from the flies, from the fires, the flooding, the hail, the rain, and the smoke and the snow. If you can't use a humidifier, use natural instincts. So those natural instincts that y'all will see at the African shop or the see at the stores, or the Asian stores or whatever. If you can't use a humidifier, use natural instincts and use your natural candles and your natural body sprays. And we all need to become our own doctors and nurses, because they're getting paid trillions of billions of dollars just to tell us that we have death-like positions or a simple condition. Buy the medical kits at home and test your heart rate, test your blood factors, test your breathing, your lungs, and your stomach, your height. Find out about the muscles and the tissues, the bones, and etc. that you need to work on. I need to work on this, including myself. One meal a day is all you need. Lots of water and light, and yes, you can drink after you get yourself back into your daily healthy habits. Warm water is the best. No oversitting, no overeating, whatever. And no making excuses to go to the doctor. If you're dying, then yes, go. But that's only if you're dying. It's not anything that's not a crisis or majorly specifically going to kill you or going to destroy something in you. Okay, so that's when you'll go to the doctor and rely on something, a higher source than yourself. Okay, because you can't do it alone. And actually, with this being said, I do have some more evidence. So some of the foods are made with abiotic, meaning with a living organisms. Okay, scientists typically use the term when referring to non-living aspects of the ecosystem that affects organisms growth or reproduction. So abiotic factors might be light, water, fertilization, nutrients, or chemical elements such as oxygen or sulfur, which all elements contain different things or make combining the different elements make something new, which is a combination of elements, which is that's what they're doing, because that's what I cut off into my sentence, but that's what they're doing. Okay, so you can find this literally at livescience.com, and then you can also find the rest of the information that I got. You can literally find that off the news, because they'll be talking about different chemicals that has been released into the water, and that has also been released into the air, which is making us to have different reactions towards it. So you might say you have allergies, but really is the reaction towards what it has, or the fruits towards what it has, in the different chemicals that is in either the air, the water, the fruit, or in the food. Okay, so with that being said, now we're going to talk about the major crisis. Okay, so I'm not going to be stuttering. So the second COVID, or the fourth COVID pandemic that we're going to have, is because there is people that did not take the shots. That's what they're claiming. There are people that did not take the shots. There are people that did not get vaccinated. There are people that did not put their medicine in. There are people that did not actually go to the doctor when they had COVID. So now they're spreading it back, and they're spreading it globally. So of course they went to partying when they were supposed to be separated and they were supposed to be isolated. But of course they went to partying. Of course they went to doing this, and of course they went to doing that. And these people, they said that they spread it around. Okay, that's what the news said, that they spread it around because they didn't get vaccinated, because they didn't stay isolated, because they didn't follow what they were supposed to do. And now we have a second outbreak. But I'm gonna be honest, because I'm gonna tell you the truth, because really it's actually the scientists that's actually creating this, so it can be more breakthrough going on for their labs. Okay, so the only reason why certain scientists make money, or the only reason why certain doctors and nurses make money, is to actually put out and produce diseases, and to produce chemicals, and to produce things that can make your body very, very poisonous. Okay, that can make your body very, very unhealthy, and that can also cause a lot of unhealthy diseases. Besides that, we already know that the pandemic was not made because of a bat that flew somewhere and that bit somebody and that did something that was, uncalled for. That was not the reason why the pandemic happened when the president was saying to himself, I think it was Biden, I think that it was the time of Biden, or it was the time of Trump. I think it was the time of Biden and the time of Trump, but I know in 2024 Trump was in office, and he had literally said that the health pharmacies and the health care is really being deficient. We do not have enough people, or we do not have enough money to give everybody the health care that they need, or not enough money to give people the resources that they need. So of course they were like, well, you're just gonna have to figure it out, because there's more people than more aid that we're giving them. So that's where the thing came from. Well, let's just put out anything. Let's just conduct any research. Let's conduct any product, and let's just give it to them, because at the end of the day, we don't have all the resource that we need anyway. And then also, I heard that Donald Trump had pushed out the vaccination, even though the vaccination wasn't made completely. It wasn't firmly made. It wasn't tested, and it wasn't proven, 100% proven and guaranteed to work, but he just pushed it out into the public, into the press, and just said, okay, everybody take shots, everybody go take a pill, or everybody, at least got to go to the doctor. And this is where, in 2024 and 2025, this is where it was really big, because everybody was scared, because they were like, it happens in a cough. You don't naturally see it. You don't naturally feel anything in your body. You can literally just be chilling, and you can have something that comes up, some type of mucus that comes up, and it will be tested out as COVID. So everybody was getting their tests done. Everybody was getting their, readings at home, and getting their self-scans at home, because they were like, I don't want to be in this situation where I have COVID, okay? Or I don't want to have the flu neither, because the flu was going on, and it was actually the flu, it was actually the COVID that was going on, it was actually allergies that was going on. So like literally when people got sick, like as a small sneeze or a small cough or something, somebody was like, oh no, you have COVID, okay, you have COVID. And also it was some other stuff that was going on, like in Europe and Asia and, you know, just other continents. They were also having some serious crisis too, and it was like a massive epidemic that was going on, you know what I'm saying? So it was like way more than just, okay, the flu and the COVID was going on, but it was way more than that. So now they're like, okay, we have to retest it, we have to retest the people that had COVID, or we have to retest the people, we have to retest the shot. And they retest the shot, and they said that the shot had caused cancer, and it had caused cancer. And this is the reason why it had caused cancer, because it has not been scientifically proven to test out into the public and to get out into people's eye. Okay, so now they are like, so who did this? Like, who tried to push this into the public before testing it out, before scientifically proven that that's going to be, you know, what it is? Like, who? And they all pointed themselves right back to Trump, because of course he was the president at the time, and he had some type of sickness, and he wanted to get healed fast, or he wanted to get the solution quickly. And that's what happens when you get the solution quickly, instead of just waiting and just seeing what the results is going to cause or whatever. So it really wasn't Biden. Biden actually got sick from it because he took the shot, of course. And once he took the shot was not clinically proven. So now he got sick. They say he almost passed out. He almost fainted. He threw up. You know, it was just different reports saying that he was very sick, that he couldn't make it into a lot of meetings. He couldn't make it into a lot of conferences because of the fact that he took the shot. So that tells you a lot about the shot, right? And it also tells you that most people did not survive on the shot. So yes, look up on WGN how many people actually survived from the shot, and how many people actually took the shot and literally only felt worse and literally had to survive off of that. Or there are elderly people that took it and that passed away, and we received no reports from them. Okay, so we knew that they took it, and there was nothing to be said about that after they took it. Like, it was just like, you know, it just happened. Something happened to them. Oh, well, you know what I'm saying? But that was the reason why, because of course, they needed the people to take it so they can erase a whole bunch of population and decrease most of us, okay? Like I said, because they do not have enough money, they do not have enough wealth for us to keep going with the medical care system and to keep pushing out different, you know, chemicals for us to die. They were like, okay, so let's just, you know, test this out. And it killed majority of us. And I'm not gonna lie, killed majority of us, okay? So like I said, so in the beginning part, because I just want to like clarify, so it says children, teens, adults, parents, grandparents, greater parents, etc., and are at major risk factors right now. Okay, today then the epidemic and the pandemic and the global warning. So we think that all the global warnings is like tearing down things. The biggest thing to know right now is that the diseases that we're passing down, it's a lot of diseases that they are remixing, that they are, you know, testing out, and that we all might have, you know what I'm saying? So it's not just the fact that, oh, you're not at risk, or it's not the fact that you're not most likely to have something. It's really because getting tested is not the best result, and also getting tested is not going to really do anything if you do not actually clear your system out, clear your immune system out, and clean your respiratory system out, and also make sure that you are drinking and being isolated apart from everybody that looks like they have disease. Because some people look like they have diseases, the other people actually have the diseases, and sometimes the doctors do not like being tested. So I watched this YouTube video recently, right? It was this lady, and I don't remember exactly her name, but she said there is a more common effect for the people to have HIV, and they to have it in their menopause area, or they have to have it in their menopause age. I'm going to say the menopause age, and they are actually spreading it towards a lot of women that's over. She said down below of the belt area, something of the, I don't know if that means like south of like America, or like south of, I don't know if that means like south of the USA, but she says that they're passing down HIV and AIDS. There is a new common fact of HIV and AIDS. It says it's more commonly in the black community than it's more common in any other community. But the other people will be affected by it because, of course, it's AIDS and HIV. So, of course, you're going to get affected by it. So, of course, you need to properly stereotype and cleanse everything down. And also be mindful of where you're sleeping at and be aware of who you want to be with and who you want to attract. Because people have diseases that they do not get tested about, and the doctors are not going to test you unless you ask them to get tested, or unless you have some type of major issues that they see in front of them and they can't ignore it. You know what I'm saying? So you do not want to make it to the point where you have HIV or you have AIDS or you have some type of disease, okay, sexually STI, okay, and you do not get tested, or you do not have anything to prove that you're healthy, or to prove that you're doing good, or to scientifically prove that you're not gonna die anytime soon, okay? So you must, that's when you must get tested. That's when you must ask the doctors and ask the nurses to test your blood to make sure that everything is okay within you, okay? That's everything, pap smears and everything, okay? So it's from the males, because the males need to get tested, and it's from the females because both sides need to get tested. And if both sides do not get tested, that's when the diseases come even towards our neighborhood, because we don't know who we be talking to. Some people, you know, they have more diseases than what they look like, and they look like they're healthy, they look like nothing is wrong with them, and the doctors will also take that. They will tell you, okay, there's nothing wrong with you because you don't look like it, but in reality there really is. So when you have something like that, I would tell you to go to the nurse, or I would tell you to go to the doctor as soon as possible, because that is something that is deadly effective, and you do not want to spread that, and you do also not want to be around somebody that has that, and vice versa, in both case scenarios, for the female and for the male. And yeah, now I'm going to tell you literally about what's going on now, because it's a second outbreak of COVID, and I think that is something to be taken very seriously. Because first of all, we have the bird flu, and then we have COVID, and then we have the other flus that's going around, which is like just, you know, the regular flu that we always catch, you know, every year or whatever. And then we have the other flu that's going around, which is a new virus that they just put out, they just unleashed out. Like I said, some of these scientists, and well, no, not some of the scientists, most of the scientists are releasing out chemicals and releasing out things because they do not, like I said, they do not have enough money or enough patience to keep up with all the population of the human beings, okay, on this planet Earth. So this is what they're doing. They're like, you can just make something up. If you could just put two and two together and put a name on it, put a title on it, and release it out to the public, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to release it out to the public, and after you release it out to the public, then we're going to kill massive majority of people, because of course it's not scientifically proven, and of course they're just going to put any type of label on it. And once they put any type of label on it, they're just going to tell you, you know, just take it, you know, take the medicine, take the drugs, take the shot, and take whatever it is. And after that, then they're going to tell you, well, it never worked in the first place, because, you know, so it's really common not to take shots, because you do not want to take shots. You do not want to get yourself placed up in that position where it's like, I have to take a shot because, you know, I haven't took care of my health, or I haven't took care of my body, because you want to take care of your body the best way you can. And I realize, or I get that certain people have to do 15 to 17 hours of work. So you're trying to figure out how to take care of your body and how to do this also while you have to go to work, while you have to go do things for your family. You have to run and do errands, and you have to do other things in that nature. And of course, yes, it's hard, but it's something that everybody needs to work on, because if you do not work on it, then it's going to affect you. Okay, so you have to make some time for yourself. You have to make literally 2 to 3 hours for yourself, if no more than 2 to 3 hours, at least 4 hours, to like go running, go jogging, go walking, you know, get you a mask. Of course, go ahead and make sure you have Lysol, make sure you have bleach, and like wipe everything down. You don't want any like mold or mildew, because then again, it's going to be something else with you getting sick. So you want to make sure your area and space is always clean as possible. Okay, and then like I said, okay, so I said, and the unhealthy risk factors from the 80s and 90s, because this is where the newest forms. Okay, so I want to talk about this. So the unhealthy risk factors from the 80s and the 90s, because this is the newest norm. This is the newest norm. The trillionaire companies of the healthcare infrastructure have started in multiple diseases, with multiple daily outbreaks coming internationally, and the reason is to kill the mass majority of Earth before their existence dies out. Okay, so many of you are knowing this already, but none has taken action. This is why the war continues to kill majority of youth and elders. So yes, that's the major topic that people want to actually get rid of. Okay, and that's the youth and that's the elders, because the elders are really like vulnerable to take out, because of course they're already, you know, they're already old, so you know the next step is just death. And then the youth is because of course they don't want you to produce something that is going to damage what they're producing. Like a lot of people, they know how to scientific allergies, and they know how to grow their hair, and they know how to grow their eyelash, they know how to grow their, you know, teeth, they know how to do a whole bunch of things without going to the dentist, without going to the doctors, without going to the nurse. And it's literally by the natural remedies that they use. Okay, so they use like some type of herb. Some people use herbs, some people use like cleansing oil, some people use like just different things to like actually for their hygiene. Okay, actually to grow and garden and to plant and to do things in nature. And they never been to a doctor, they never been to a dentist, they never been to any type of person to do their hair, they never been to any type of person, because they grow all their own stuff, you know what I'm saying? So if you can, and you know, if that is possible, if you can do that, that would be probably formidable more than going to these places, because these places, like I said, they say simple things. These simple things you can figure out by yourself. You do not have to have somebody else tell you, because it's not worth the money, or it's not worth the time, nor is it worth the energy. So like again, these things that you could test, you can buy this at home self kit, so you can test your own self. And then you can also just put 2 to 3 hours will not kill you. Okay, so 2 to 3 to 4 hours, like I'm gonna say 2 hours to 4 hours will not kill you if you put that aside to actually checking your health. So whether that's jogging, whether that's hiking, whether that's camping, whether that's fishing, whether that's golfing, whether that's whatever that's doing, swimming, if you dance, if you sing, if you do a track list, if you know, whatever you do, like play your track list on the road, go hiking, go, you know, just go jog, go climb a tree. Okay, go literally climb a tree, because we want to make sure that the immune system and the respiratory system is working properly. You have to make sure that your body is working properly. So go ahead and stretch your muscles, stretch those bones, stretch those and flex those muscles and flex those bones. Okay, because if you do not do so, it's going to decrease gradually, and once it decreases gradually, you're going to feel absolutely horrible. And once you feel absolutely horrible, that's why your body aches, and that's why you have like random pains, or you might have like random sorenesses, or you might have the lymph pits in your body. I know a lot of people know the lymph pits. If you're not familiar with the lymph pits, you have lymph pits all over your body, and it's from your all the way to your mind, which is your head, of course, and it's from your head towards the soles of your feet. So it's literally from the toes of your feet. Okay, so you want to make sure you have those checked out, and you want also to make sure that you're moving that, because that's the flow of the blood, and that's also the flow of the water that's going into your body. So that's how they carry from the lymph pits in your body, from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. And I feel like that would be pretty much it, because that's the only thing that you can possibly do by yourself, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know exactly what they would tell you at the hospital, or I don't know exactly what they would tell you at the doctor's office, but I do know that majority of people will tell you something that is so simple that of course you can figure out by yourself, and you would not need any type of person to come in to tell you anything like this, because you can figure it out at home, of course, or at your apartment or whatever. Okay, so I said that the multiple deadly outbreaks coming internationally, and this is the reason to kill the mass majority of Earth. Now, see, this is like the billionaire industry right now. They're only thinking about making more money because they do not want to keep having to go through these lab experiments, and just so it could be more money and it could be less work. So think about it like, I want to make more money, but I want to have less work. So of course they're going to push out any product, they're going to push out any medicine, they're going to push out whatever they want to say, whatever they want to do, because they really want to make money off of you and off of the advertisement, off of the brands, and off of them just, you know, telling other doctors this is what we're going to sell them and this is what we're going to do. And literally, because literally the doctors are advertisers, okay? The doctors are taking notes from what their bosses are saying and what their other people are saying that's in charge of the, you know, infrastructure, and they are literally telling you what they're what they have told them to tell you, okay, as far as your condition or as far as your situation, okay? And that's facts, you know what I'm saying? They will not tell you anything that they know for experience or they have ever tried, okay? The medicine that they're giving you, they have never tried. The results that they're giving you, they have never done, or they have not clinically, you know, went into another hospital, and, you know, so if it's really possible if you can actually just do everything at home. That's why I'm saying this, because it is possible. You just have to put at least 2 to 4 hours towards yourself, and once you put 2 to 4 hours towards yourself, you can't really say anything that went wrong, except, you know, you have maybe some allergies or something, and that's pretty much it. You know, everybody get coughs and sneezes sometimes, and that's pretty much it. Of course, okay, so I'm gonna go back into the text, or I'm gonna go back into the reading. So the multiple deadly outbreaks coming internationally, the reason is to kill the mass majority of Earth before their existence dies out. See, okay, so like I was saying, before their existence dies out, okay, they also want to kill the mass majority of Earth, okay? I said, well, now I say they also, because it's multiple people, these multiple forces. Like I already said in the previous video, there's a lot of people that want to take y'all out. There's a lot of people that is actually against you, and you do not know. For one, I was saying that the people in every single healthcare industry and every single place that you see that you really depend on, that you really rely on, you should not rely on those people in those places, because they are only looking for money. They are only looking for the greed. They are only looking for the wealth. They're only looking for that to transfer their bank account. They do not care about partnerizing themselves and advertising themselves to you get this brand, or you do this deal, or you do this, or you do that, because they do not care. That's just what they want to do. They want to see you in a bad position, and they also want to make money. So how to make money in a bad position and make somebody else messed up? Of course, you're going to lie to them, and of course, you're going to tell them that you are the truth, okay? And that's just that. So that's what they do, and that's exactly how we got up into this category. Okay, so many of you are knowing this already, but none has taken action. So this is a war, okay? So this is a war because the only reason why they want to kill all of us, and the only reason why they want to make this a mass situation with the entire world and the entire population, is because they know that we know the truth about all of their infrastructure. We know the truth about their industry. We know the truth about, like I said, the people that's being attacked right now is the spiritual people, is the children of God, is the people that is religious, the people that actually understands, like, besides the stuff that is spiritual, but understands the lies and understands the deception that all these people in this industry has caused, okay? Those scientists that's working against us, okay? The doctors and nurses that's working against us, and the people, and even the police, and the police and the lawyers and the court, all these different people they are actually working against us. So you have to be very in a discernment place and manner, because you have to know that the people do not want anything from you except your money, and for you to trust them. And once you trust them and once they get your money, they're going to lead you astray. They're going to lead you to doing whatever, to acting however, because that's what they're advertising. The devil, okay, like I said in the last videos, the devil only advertised the thing that he is, that he does, that he wants his children to do. So he's going to tell you to do the exact same thing. And how is this all connected, right? Because who would try to kill somebody because of their money? It's a person that has a devilish spirit, or the person that has an evil spirit, or a person that has an unjust or unclean spirit. And of course, that's majority of the world, because the majority of the world is just tired of actually doing anything for themselves. Like I said, people think that things should be handed down towards them, and people also think that things should be easy, like their life should be completely easy, and that they shouldn't have to focus so much on other people's problems, or focus so much on other people's insight or other people's opinions. So they'd be like, okay, well, let's just kill them because we don't have anything else to do with them. And of course, we're making billions of dollars off of this, and this is just what that is. Okay, so like I said, so the norm, the newest norm, they trillion dollar companies of the healthcare infrastructure has started multiple diseases. And I keep repeating that because I really want y'all to understand that they're starting multiple diseases to get rid of all of us. Okay, and that's why they're working over hard. That's why they're working overnight, because they really want to see us at a low grade of energy, at a low ball of energy, okay, where we can't. So that's why we have doctors, okay, because like I said, before all the doctors came, before all the nurses, before all of these these schools and teachers was made, we literally had to teach our own children. We literally had to help our own selves. We literally had to take out our own teeth. We had to do our hair. We had to do our own face. We had to make our own hygiene products. We had to make our own clothes. We had to make our own shoes. Of course, we were actually made by nature, and that's what is keeping us alive, is nature, okay, keeping us alive. And if we don't go back to nature, and we don't have to, if we do not go back into being natural, then everything is going to be destroyed. Because of course we can't keep messing up nature, of course the pollution, and of course all the things that we have been doing towards it, and not actually putting it towards our body. Okay, so when you the things that we have been doing, okay, pollution, okay, different things to the environment, to make the environment say, technically, I'm gonna give up on you, okay, because it's not enough good products in this earth to keep you alive, to keep you well and healthy. So you have to think about it. When all these products and all these chemicals die down, what do we have now? We have no earth left, because they're using the earth biomes, and then they're using the earth fruits, and they're using the earth soils, and they're using all the earth goods for a bad reason. So once you clean out everything off the earth that the earth gave you, and you spoil yourself off of the earth minerals and everything that the earth gave you, to use it for poison, to use it for chemicals, for you to use it to make a lot of people die, or to make most of the universe die, or most of this world die, right? This is not going to help you, because the person who's doing that, and is also not going to help anybody that is trying to seek help from you. Okay, so if you're in these factories, and you are in these places, and you are in these healthcare infrastructures, and you are in these places that's no good, and you see that they're killing people, and you see that they don't have evidence, that this is not scientifically proven, that the medicine and the things that they're doing is not scientifically proven, why would you still want to advertise that? Why would you still want to push that out into the public? Or why do you still want to have recognition that you're killing a whole bunch of people that you don't even know, that you're aware of? You don't know who they were, you don't know their family, their life story, you don't know if they was going to grow up to be something special, if they was going to be break the Guinness World Record. You don't know what they were going to do. You just know that at the end of the day, you are a failure. okay? Because you're doing absolutely the opposite of saving somebody else's life. You're doing absolutely the opposite of trying to help something or somebody. You're not trying to help anything except yourself. Money is going to disappear. Literally, the currency of money is going to disappear. It's already dying down in front of our faces. So it will not be no more such thing as money. And a couple of freaking years, like give it a couple of freaking years, there will be no such thing as money. We will have digital exchange and coins and different stocks and different things that we use that's technology or that's in an AI feature. And it could be advanced or it cannot be advanced, but we're going to be using that, and that's going to be the exchange. So if you're doing this, you're doing this for the wrong cause. You're doing this for the wrong reason. And I'm giving you the warning or giving you the heads up before this escalates into something that you cannot fix. Something that you can only think about and think that I really messed up, or I really made a mistake, or this really caused a bad sin. Because this is a sin. To kill people, that is literally a committing of sin, okay? A crime, actually, if we're being quite honest. That is a crime, okay? And just to know that, then again, like I said, I'm gonna keep reading this because I really want y'all to understand what I'm talking about, okay? So the pandemic and the global warmings that's going on, yes, everything is connected. So the global warming is actually connected towards the outbreak of the disease that we're having, and of course the COVID that's going around again, of course the flu that's going around, the bird flu that's going around, and the other flus that's going around, and the other little sicknesses that's going around, or the other little illnesses that's going around. This is all because they're using nature for the wrong reasons. And this is why they're using nature for the wrong reasons. Because I have to say it again, they're trying to get rid of most people because they do not have the money and they don't have the time and the energy to keep going after them and keep making more, more medicine or more products or more this, more that. So they're just wanting money now. So of course we're going to push this out. And as soon as we push this out, of course we're not going to test this. Like I already said in the beginning, they're not testing none of this stuff. They're just pushing it out. Whatever medicine, whatever good, whatever. If you want to call it good, we'll label it good. If you want to call it, we still are practicing on it, they'll still take it. So whatever you push out, we're just going to publish. We're just going to advertise it. Which is really messed up. It's messed up for all of us. So yes, this is like the karma that the universe is giving them. The karma that the universe is giving them is, I'm going to make everybody sick. And the people that's taking it is really the people that do not have no spiritual insight or no common sense. So, and when you think about this, because they'll tell you on the news, they'll tell you on these social media apps, they'll tell you when they're broadcasting these things, okay, this is not 100% guaranteed, or this is not what we originally thought in mind. They'll say something like that. They'll say some words that's similar into that nature. Not exactly that, but they'll say some words that's similar into that nature. And it will make you think. That majority are trusting people that's in these places. Okay? Trusting people that has these powers to help them. And they're trying to destroy them. Okay, so that's karma from the universe, because you're making Mother Nature look horrible. Okay, after all she has given you, for you to clean up your area, for you to clean up your body, for you to clean up your mind, for you to be a better person, for all these different things and for all these different reasons, you are literally taking it and you are destroying it. You're taking it and you are making a mess, a fool of yourself. Okay, so the global warming actually does have something to do with the epidemic, like I already said, and the risk factors. Because the risk factors is that, of course, like I already said, the grandparents and the elders are really most likely to get it. Because, of course, they are trying to push it so you won't, you're already old, so now it's the next stage is literally what they call death. Okay, so and then there's children that can be infected, which is babies. Okay, they're not like, I'm talking about toddlers, I'm talking about like really small children. I'm not talking about like children that's like preteens or like things like that. But the teens can also get it. And the teens, why they can get it is because they smoke, they do marijuana, they do drugs, they do a whole bunch of crack, they do this, they do that, they do a whole bunch of drugs. Can affect you in so many ways, because your immune system cannot get drugs and then also get medicine to help you and then think that it's going to, whatever your problem is going to become a solution, or whatever your problem is going to be over with. It's not going to happen suddenly. It's not going to happen. You're smoking every single day. Like, let's be realistic. You're smoking every single day. You're taking drugs. You're taking edibles. You're doing this. You're doing that. You're smoking crack. Whatever it is. And then you think that that is going to help you. That's going to solve your problem. That is not going to. So everybody's at risk, okay? Everybody's at risk. So it's not just the elders, or it's not just the babies, or it's not just the, you know, the toddlers. No, it's literally everybody. Okay, so I'm gonna go back. Risk factors today. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to like the middle part of what I said, because I think the middle part is the most important part, because I'm going to tell you how all this connects towards one another. Okay, and I'm gonna go back to the middle part. The current infrastructure has started multiple diseases with multiple daily outbreaks, and internationally the reasons to go. Okay, it dies out. Many of you are knowing this already, but none has taken the actions. Okay, so this is why the work shows. Okay, so, and then there's another thing, because I also said something like that. So there's another thing. I do not want, and I really do not want anybody to feel afraid to walk away from something that they know is dangerous, that they know is not going to help them. Because if you're working for somebody that you know that's evil, or you know that has an evil spirit, or you know that is not good, a good place or a good environment to work in, you do not work there. Okay, it does not matter. Like, it does not matter the payout. It does not matter. Okay, because the people, they pay for dinner or they pay for whatever. No, literally, if you're working somewhere and you do not feel comfortable, or you do not feel invited, or you do not feel as if you are making any progress, okay, for one, and you also feel like you're being threatened or you're being attacked in some type of way, do not work there. You know that you're working for evil people, or you know that you're working for bad spirited people. Please do not work there. And that's what a lot of people, they like to put themselves into places where they don't belong. But that is actually a gem, because this is not what this topic is about. This is not what this video is about at all. Okay, so that's just another gem. Like, if you ever feel attacked, or you ever feel threatened, or you ever feel like you're not supposed to be in an environment, I want you to get out of the environment. Do not feel bad for leaving. Do not feel bad and be like, well, I should have stayed, because no, you have better things to do besides waste your time and waste your energy and waste your life on evil people, and waste, your thought process on evil people also. So I just want to tell y'all that if you know that you're working in these places and they're doing messed up things to messed up people, and they probably don't even like you, you should leave immediately. Okay, because they'll do the same things they do to those people, they'll do it to you. Okay, and that's just the truth. Okay, so I'm gonna go back into like the middle part. Breaking income, the diseases that are newest forms of death, so you are not symptom immediately, but for you to die shortly after eating and drinking and showering, bathing, running. Okay, so yeah, so this is the middle part. Okay, the diseases that are the newest forms of death are so you will not see symptoms immediately, but for you to die shortly after. So these symptoms that they're making, these new diseases that they're making, these new little plagues that they're making, you won't see symptoms immediately. Like, you would have something and you would not know anything about it. Maybe your skin would come darker, or maybe you have bumps, or maybe you have bruises and rashes out of nowhere, or maybe this will happen, or maybe that will happen. That will be like a sign, but you won't know that the signs immediately, because they will not pop up out of nowhere. They will pop up literally so it could be like you took something 10 months later, then it pops up, or it can pop up like 3 months later and then it pops up, and then it will be so random, because it's like, I didn't eat nothing that I wasn't supposed to, I didn't drink nothing I was supposed to, I didn't put no perfumes that was like messed up, I didn't go to the doctor. And also for the people, and then this is a side gem, this is like a side note, because of course this is not what the video is about. Like, again, it's not what the video is about. But for the people who's getting Botox, and they're getting like BBLs, and they're getting like different things that's done to their body, I'm not no judgment here. Of course, I don't do judgment. I do advice, and I do warnings, and I do guidance. But for those people, y'all are actually in a high risk factor too. So I want to say the young people that, young people do it and old people do it, which is kind of crazy. But for the young people, for specifically for the young people that is taking Botox and that are doing clinical surgeries and that are doing BBLs and that are doing things to their face and things to their bodies. Like, again, so the surgeon that you are, you know, opposed to, or that you're paying your money to, or that you're paying attention to, right? They're telling you to take this, they're telling you to do that, but you are at a high risk factor too, towards getting to diseases, towards things flaring up for you too. Because when you think about it, you do not know what type of shots you're taking. You do not know what type of poison you're taking. You don't even know what they're doing inside your body, okay? When they're whatever the surgeon does towards your body, you do not know what's going on. Mostly, you know, because you're asleep, mostly because you don't ask questions, and mostly because they're not going to tell you the truth, and they're not going to tell you they have probably experienced this for like, or have experience of these type of, you know, surgeries or whatever for like probably 5 to 10 years. And that is literally not enough for you to sit here and say that you can do somebody's entire body, because I think that would be a little dangerous, because of course they only have 5 to 10 years of experience. So with all these things being said and with all these things being talked about, do not go into these places and think that, oh yeah, I'm gonna get my face done, oh yeah, I'm gonna get my body done, oh yeah, I'm gonna get my toes and everything else done, because they're going to try to poison you. They're going to try to kill you, because of course they want to speed up the process, and of course they want your money, and you're going to fall for their advice, you're going to fall for their lies, and you're going to fall for the deception and the trap. So like I said, it's already a deception walking into the place and thinking that they're going to change you from the inside and out. No, you have a beautiful body, you have a beautiful mind, you have beautiful skin, okay? You do not need to change your body. You do not need to go and get plastic surgery done and get different products done to increase your hormones and things like that. You do not need that, okay? So if you're watching this and you're thinking like, well, what, you know, if I'm still at a risk factor, yes, you're at a risk factor, because you do not want to get any type of injections, no shots done towards you, because of course these places do not care about you at all. They're trying to make you die so they can get some money. That's the truth. Okay, so I'm gonna keep repeating that because that's the truth. Okay, so many of you are knowing this already, but none has taken the action. Okay, so I was all the way down here at the bottom. Yeah, so I was at there's a warning on me. Okay, so there's a warning, and there's a warning on me, and there's a warning on dairy products, high glyceride fats from a pig that leads your body to becoming fatter than what you eat. The health of all humanity is at a high risk. So it doesn't matter who you are, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you're black or white. It doesn't matter if, you know, nobody looks at religion, nobody looks at skin tone. They literally look at the fact that they are greedy, they are needy, they are the people that are going to tell you take everything that you can possibly take, everything that you can possibly drink, because they want you to pass out. They want you to be sick, and the more and more you become sick is the more and more the doctor is going to tell you to do more things to your body. Is going to tell you to take more things, to take more medicines, to take more drinks, to take more this, to take more that, and it's going to slowly make you pass away. Of course, like these symptoms that are new symptoms, you do not know that you have them, and you do not know if you're at a high risk factor of them, because of course nobody is putting this on the news and telling you, hey, this is the things that we're planning out. You're at a risk factor if you have these symptoms, or if you feel these things, because everybody keeps saying a fever or chills, or you might have headaches or chronic back pains, or you might have this, or you might have that. And nobody is telling you, okay, what age does it start at and what age does it end at? What type of cure we have? What type of cure we have for the first pandemic, and for the first COVID outbreak, they didn't have a cure. And now for the second outbreak, they don't have a cure. So of course, COVID never went away. But it's not because of the people they're partying and because they're kissing and they're making out. No, it's literally because of the fact that they just produced anything and they wanted you to take it, and that's what happened, and that's what's still going on. So like I said already, I'm going to repeat what I said at the ending of this. And then of course I have to end this video because I didn't realize that I was talking for an hour again, and I wasn't supposed to be talking for an hour, but I was just making sure that everybody realized and everybody knows, because it's truly getting diabolical when we're talking about health and when we're talking about who's at a risk factor. It's really diabolical to tell you that we're all at a risk factor. Nobody is safe, especially you're at a more risk factor if you take drugs and if you don't do the things I've already told you about twice in this video. Okay, so of course I'm going to tell you the last part, and then of course I'm gonna have to wrap this video up, and I will probably see you next time. Okay, let me see if I can listen. Okay, so I said, of course, because they're getting because they're getting paid trillions of billions of dollars just to tell you that you have a death-like position or a simple condition. Buy the medical kit at home. Test your heart rate, test your blood factors, test your breathing, your lungs, test your stomach, test your height. Find out about the muscles, the tissues, the bones, and etc. that you need to work on. I'm going to include myself, of course. 1 meal a day is all you need. So what did I say? I said 1 meal a day, because your body cannot. Okay, you have to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a snack, and extra food on that, and extra drinks on that, and some wine, and some alcohol. You can't, your body cannot adjust to 5 meals a day, or 3 meals a day, or at least 5 meals and a snack. Your body cannot adjust to that. Stop thinking that's normal. That's really not normal, okay? Because even the people that's on the island, if we look, and you can Google search this by yourself, the people that's on an island, what do they have? They don't have 5 meals a day. They don't have 3 meals a day. When they catch fish, and when they catch those, have those coconut trees and the mangoes and all the things, they eat fresh fruit, of course, and they do not overextend their stomachs. And this is why they live for a very long time. This is why they live to actually see their grandchildren and great grandchildren and everybody and everything else, because they are actually trying to produce something in their body and trying to not to slow it down, because that's what happens when you keep eating and you keep digesting. Of course, your body has to keep breaking down the minerals, breaking down the food, breaking down the compounds, and it has to keep overloading itself with more work, and over time it gets tired, it gets exhausting, so you become fat, so you become, because it's tired. Your stomach is tired, your kidneys is tired, everything in you is tired, your immune system is tired, your big digestive system is tired. Okay, and of course, it's not really good to do these things, because also I want to talk about pregnancy, but I'm not going to talk about a lot of pregnancy. I'm just going to talk about this in this conversation. I'm not going to talk about how you get pregnant. I also want to say that pregnant people are at a risk. You know why? Because when you overeat, of course, you have a child in your stomach, so you can't do the things that you would normally do. And if you didn't have a child in your stomach, you have to prepare yourself. And this is what I would tell the people from all over. It doesn't matter if you're young, if you're old, if you're mid-age, whatever you are, preteen, baby, whatever you are. Of course, the babies can have 2 meals a day, because of course they're not going to starve themselves. You're not going to starve if you eat less, or if you drink less, or if you go out and spend less. Okay, you're not going to starve yourself. You're not going to die. You're not going to have any type of impacts on you, because your body is a natural healer towards yourself. It's a natural healer. Okay, it gets all the toxins out of you, it gets all the poisons out of you, but you have to trust it. Okay, you cannot overextend your welcome. Okay, you cannot overextend the medicine. Do not overextend these products that they're giving you. Do not overextend yourself when you're eating and you're drinking, because it's going to be a day where you're going to not be able to breathe properly, not be able to get up properly, not going to be able to do the things that you normally did, and you would think, oh, it's because of old age, or it's because of I did this or I ate that. No, it's literally because your immune system is giving up slowly. Okay, some type of organ in you is literally giving up slowly, and this is why the organs die down. This is why the kidneys, sometimes it be kidney failure, sometimes you'll have this, sometimes you have that, because they cannot keep producing more and more and more for your body to defeat the attacks. Because of course, whatever you eat, of course, they have chemicals in it. Well, of course, they have some type of poison in it, some type of this, some type of that, because they have to spray the chemicals on the plants and on the fruit, so the bugs will not get on it, or they will not get inside of it. So they can put it into the stores, of course, the restaurants, of course, whatever y'all go to, the markets. So that's the reason why they have to spray it down. Of course, this is why everybody tells you, wash the fruit off, wash the vegetables off, because of course that's how they market the food. Okay, that's how they make the food look so good and yummy, of course, in the advertisement. So this is what you have to do. 1 meal a day. Okay, 1 meal. I'm gonna say 1 meal and some snacks. Okay, y'all can go eat y'all potato chips, and y'all can go ahead eat y'all banana chips and y'all corn chips and flakes. Okay, but we're literally looking at the fact that you're not going to overextend eating and overextend drinking, because it's not going to help you. Okay, so now I said, okay, so yeah, so okay, first we're going to buy the medical kit at home. So test all your stuff at home. You do not have to go and to spill billions of dollars into these places, because medical care is very expensive, and especially if you're paying out of pocket, it's very expensive. Okay, so nobody wants to waste their time. Nobody wants to waste their energy dealing with that, and then calling people back, testing these people back, seeing, okay, what's the rate now? Can I have a discount? Can I have this? That is very expensive, and that's a waste of time, and that's a waste of energy. So please put your energy back to yourself and your money back into your pockets. Buy your stuff at home. Okay, and that's very that's very simple. Okay, it don't get really much simpler than that. Okay, now the second one, of course, eat 1 meal a day. You don't have to overextend your meal, okay, or overextend your drinks. Now, what else did I say? Okay, so I said 1 meal a day, and all you need is a lot of water and light drinks. So a lot of water and light drinks. So now you know. Yes, you can drink after. So of course, the people that like to drink alcohol, and they like to drink wine, they like to drink whiskey, they like to drink beer, they like to drink Henny, they like to drink all these other things. You know what I'm saying? You out getting drunk every single day. That's not good. First of all, to get drunk every day, let me tell you something. To get drunk every single day, you are feeling every organ in your body. You do not want to drink every single day. It doesn't matter, young, old, elderly, baby, child, and especially if your children are drinking. Oh my gosh, do not let your children even get a sip of wine. Don't think that's a joke. Don't think that's funny, because it changes impacts on the mind, and it also changes impacts on the spirit. Okay, so now that's in a different video. Of course, I'm going to put what wine has in it and why we shouldn't do it for our spirits and for specifically our body, because it has the horriblest health factors, and they don't even tell you what it has in it, because that's, of course, if they told you that, you would stop drinking it and you would put that thing down, or some of y'all will probably keep drinking it just because it tastes good and just because you're tired of listening to people. Okay, but this is why. So you are not supposed to, it says yes, you can drink after you get yourself back into your daily habits. Okay, so do not overextend your drinking. Okay, if you drink a whole bottle of wine a night, that's insanity. That's horrible. Cut that out. Cut those patterns, cut that habit out. Please cut it out, because you're failing every single part of you. You wonder why you can't run like you used to, or you can't do the things that you're doing, and then think that you're going to have a long life, or think that you're going to have no problems at all. The reason why y'all have these problems, and the reason why y'all affected by these new diseases, is because y'all doing things to open up towards the new diseases, to open your portals up to the new diseases, and to also be more at a risk factor for that. Do not overextend yourself in drinking. Do not overextend yourself in doing wine and beer and different things like that. Do not extend yourself in doing that. That is ridiculous. Actually, that's ridiculous. Okay? So you have to just get outside. If you're depressed, if whatever's going on in your life, talk, if you can. I think therapy I think it takes link. So I don't know. That's what I heard. Okay? Therapy takes link. So if you could, get yourself some therapy. Of course, there's other things to do. Record yourself and just let it all out. Of course, just sit on your couches. Just 3 to 5 hours just to take towards yourself, and just to take towards the time for yourself to get back rejuvenated, to get your energy back, to get that health back, to get your thoughts back in process, to get all these things back, your head and your mind clear, so you can actually go ahead and go forth and doing whatever you're going to do, or of course, going back to your daily habits. Okay, But like I said, so we're gonna start from the beginning because I just want to make sure y'all understand this, okay? I want to make sure y'all jot this down. So you're going to buy the medical care at home, okay? You're not going to go to the doctor unless it's something absolutely serious, and that you, like I said, HIV and AIDS is absolutely serious. Do not sit around if you have HIV and AIDS. Do not sit around if you have STDs. You do not want to sit around if you have these type of sexually transmitted diseases, and you do not want to sit around if you're dying, if you're literally dying. Do not sit around if you're literally dying. Please call the helpline. Please call the crisis center. Please call the 911. Okay, call emergency if you're dying. Don't die. Okay, so, but I'm just saying that this all can be prevented, okay? So this is the reason why I'm telling you this, because this is all the information that can be prevented, okay? So you will not get attacked. So you will not get into these type of crises, because these type of crises, yes, for one, it is bad because you can't naturally dig yourself out of this hole. And then it's also bad because you don't want to add on to more diseases. You don't want to add on into more of, you know, things that you have, okay, symptoms that you have, okay, whatever the symptoms is and whatever disease is, you do not want to add it on, okay? So of course I'm gonna get to the bottom, and then I'm going to leave y'all because I know I've been talking for hours, so you're tired of me talking. Understand, I'm going to leave you now. So 1 meal a day is all you need. A lot of water to drink, and yes, you can get yourself back into your daily habits. Okay, so warm water is specifically the best because it helps what? It helps that stomach of yours. It helps that gas intestine of yours, okay? So if you fart a lot and if you poop a lot, then you're going to need some warm water, okay? Go ahead, put some warm water and some lemon and some tea. Just make some tea. It could be whatever type of tea that y'all like. It could be whatever type of warm water that y'all like. It could be, some people in China, they drink hot, boiling, steaming water with nothing in it, okay? No ginger, no lemon, no lime, no nothing. They just drink hot, boiling water, okay? And I'm not sure why they do that, but they said they have a whole bunch of scientifically proven methods that actually work and that actually slows the metabolism down. So if you do not want to get fat easily, then you might well go ahead and drink your hot water, go ahead and drink your warm water, and go ahead and boil it down. It's nothing to it. It tastes just like some coffee, but it's not going to keep you up. And some tea has caffeine in it if you're looking for a caffeine type of tea, or if you're looking for a caffeine type of drink, because I understand the taste is quite amazing and we're all looking for something that's a little bit different, okay? So like I said, the warm water is the best. No oversitting, no overeating, and whatever you do, no making excuses to go to the doctor. If you're dying, then yes, go. So like I said, of course we always get into a depression season, or we get into a depressive stage. Well, we don't want to see nobody. Well, we would just want to go and lay on our beds and scroll through Instagram and scroll through Facebook and scroll through TikTok and scroll through all the other apps and GameStop and whatever else we do. So, of course, we do not want to get up and go jogging or hiking or camping or fishing or climbing, whatever whatever state we're watching this from. We don't want to do that because, like, this is the depression season. I'm tired. I don't want to keep doing this. But if you keep doing it, you get up, you do yoga, you're dancing, you're stretching, you're using your body, and for good reasons, your body is going to thank you later. Your body is going to thank you when you get older. Your body is going to thank you for stretching it out, for running it out, for your muscles being impacted the way that it's being impacted. And it's going to show you that. Okay, so of course, if you don't do nothing, you sit around, you lay down, you watch TV all day, you put chips in your mouth, you think that you're not going to get affected by anything, and you also think that you're not going to have any type of diseases, and you're just healthy, then I guess keep thinking that. But this video is absolutely saying the opposite. And like I said, I was not going to stay here for an hour. But like, again, this is called The Major Crisis, and I just want to tell you guys, if y'all here and if y'all stay for the entire video, why not subscribe? Why not share? Why not comment? Why not repost? Why not do that for me? If you are completely new here and you don't even know what the heck I'm doing here and don't know what I'm talking about, I give advice, okay, towards people, and I also give people their reasonings that they need. And I am kind of like not a therapist, not a doctor, but I am your mentor. And as always, I'm going to end this video, and I'll see you the next time. And good morning, good evening, and good night. Toodles.